All right, hey, it's Colin, back at it again with another video. So today what I want to do is I want to talk to you about my 991.2 GT3. It's been 1 year of ownership. I want to talk a little bit about what it's been like to own. I live in Michigan, so I want to tell you a little bit about the details regarding that as well. And drive it around a little bit, kind of show you what's going on with the car and how it's been. Owning the 991.2 GT3 in Michigan is kind of an interesting experience. So I don't live in California, I don't live in Florida, I don't live in any of these really nice states where you have good weather all the time, and you also have nice roads. So I don't. My roads suck, they're pretty bad. I also live on a dirt road here where I am, and I mean, yeah, my neighborhood is nice, but my dirt road is just bad. It gets muddy. So this car is often covered in mud. It's driven, it's taken care of though. I clean it as much as possible. I try to do what I can to take care of it. It's just dusty, you know, because you have that mud that picks up, dries off, and it just covers, you know, most of the neighborhood. And for us, it just covers the cars all the time. So, you know, it gets dusty. It gets dusty sitting in the garage. You know, maybe I'll drive it once every 2 weeks, especially if I'm on vacation. So it's kind of an interesting experience owning it. I'd say a couple other things when it comes to this car is you just gotta wash the underside carriage. You know, you gotta wash the underside of this car because it's filthy a lot. And I mean, even right now, you can see. I mean, it's just this nice handprint right here. You can just see it's just covered in dust, and that's just not fun. So owning the car, what's it been like? Well, I'd say it's been a fun experience. It's been great. I've really liked driving it around. You know, it's a little annoying where you hear the rocks coming up, especially from the dirt road. They get stuck in here, which is quite annoying. So you have to clean those out all the time. You know, it's been great having PPF on this car because, oh goodness, it'd have a lot of rock chips if I didn't. I did make a boo-boo with it into my garage door one day. There's no scratches or any paint damage. However, I did mess up the clear bra, so I bought some 3M clear tape that's weatherproof, and I kind of covered it up. You can't really see it super well. You can see it kind of here. It's very small. You kind of really have to look for it on this car, but you know, I fixed it up there. And unfortunately, it'd be one of those things where you have to take off the entire clear bra to end up fixing it. You know, with that, it's been good. I really haven't scratched anything on the other side. My front lip is still here, which is fantastic. Everything else has been good. I haven't had any breakdowns. You know, it's only been 3,000 miles. Brakes are doing fantastic. They stop on a dime. I still have these Sport Cup 2s, which are somewhat out of life, but I've been driving on them, and it's been okay. Just as long as I think they're warm, it's been decent. And as long as I'm not taking corners like crazy, then I am usually okay. So what I want to tell you is I want to tell you 3 things that I really like about this car. With the 991.2, a couple of my favorites. One thing I really like, of course, I mean, everyone has to talk about is, you know, number one's handling. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when I'm driving the car. But, you know, handling is great. The other thing that I like about this car is I also like the manual transmission gearbox. It's fantastic. It's one of the best gearboxes I've driven. You know, it feels very similar to, you know, actually, it doesn't really feel similar to anything. It's really kind of its own thing. It's its own experience. I think it's fantastic, especially one of the best gearboxes on the market. It doesn't even feel like a regular Carrera or a Carrera 4S gearbox. I mean, it's its own experience. The third thing I like about the car is the styling. I think the styling is fantastic. I think Porsche did a really great job with this generation of car. I think it's going to be timeless. It's going to be almost like the 997. I mean, everyone loves the 997.2, and you know, even the .1s, people love those. But I think this is going to be just as fantastic styling-wise. In fact, even with its value, even over the 991.1, this is just fantastic styling-wise. I love it. So next, what I want to tell you about is 3 things I don't like about the car. So number one would be the brake squeal. You know, I know you really can't complain about this because it's a performance car, but it can be a little embarrassing, especially as you're showing up for dinner somewhere or you're out, you know, out for a night in the town, and you pull up and you just have this sound, and it's just a little embarrassing. Yeah, you get people to notice you because they're like, oh wow, cool car, but you're kind of like, you know, everyone thinks immediately, oh, that guy needs brakes. Well, no, I mean, Porsche even made a video recently about what brake squeal is, and they want people to stop complaining about it. So I really can't complain too much about it, but that is something I don't like, you know, and even some of my other cars suffer from that, including my Lexus, which I put performance brakes on. So the second thing I don't like about the GT3 is, I mean, another thing you can't complain about owning a performance car, but it's just something that happens. So it has a rear engine, yes, but the intercoolers are still in the front. So as you can see here, this little area with for cooling, what happens is you wash the car, you take the car through one of those touchless car washes, you dry it off yourself, you pull the car out, and all of a sudden it just starts steaming from the front. I mean, just like, it looks like it's just billowing smoke. It's like a little embarrassing. You're kind of like, oh my gosh, is my car on fire? You get out and you look at it and you realize, oh wow, the intercoolers are just like cooling off right now. They're just, they're running the water off, you know, they're dispensing it into the air. And the problem is you just clean the car, and then all of a sudden now you got these streaks of water from the intercoolers that are just all over the hood after you clean it. So if you start driving a little bit, then you run into the same issue. It just starts coming up over the car, over the top of the car, and then it starts hitting your windshield. And next thing you know, your windshield starts fogging up, and then you have to wipe your windshield down. So it can be a little bit of a pain, especially taking this thing to a wash. You know, it's useful, I guess, if you wash it by your own. It's useful if you wash it by yourself. But that is one thing I don't like about this generation of GT3. So the third thing I don't like about the GT3, it's kind of a weird one. Part of it has to do with airflow on my dirt road. Now, living on my dirt road, it's really annoying. And, you know, it's something that you wouldn't really have to worry about if you're anywhere else. So with my car, the problem is you kind of have this rear, valance here. And you end up washing it. Yeah, you take care of it, you clean it up, you take it for a wash, and you drive it, and you're like, all right. And you take the car home, you go on the dirt road, and you kind of get some dirt, you know, over here by the wheel well, which is fine, you clean it up. But the annoying part is that it's just filthy in this valance, and the exhaust pipe, also inside of the area with the plate, and you also get a little bit of it accumulating in here. You have to clean this out as well. And the other perspective is that same thing with the water is, you know, sometimes you have the water that will end up collecting from getting a car wash over here. As long as you clean the underside of the wing, it's fine, but then it starts collecting in here and it just starts getting water spots, and you have to clean those up, and, you know, the water eventually drains out of there, but that's something you have to clean up consistently. So a couple of it. So my problem really kind of has to do with cleaning the car and washing it, and then where those water streaks are that are really annoying. Yeah, my car is filthy right now, but however, it's just those water spots are annoying, and that's just something I don't like about the car. It's just a little bit of that styling causes that issue with continually having to clean out those same spots from dirt and grime. So when I fell in love with the GT3, something I really liked about it, even with the Turbo S of this generation, was the lighting, the styling of the lights. I love the rear tail lights. I loved how the side profile lights looked. I love the BLDS on this car, just like the 4 kind of quad looking LEDs with the halo ring, the front lights, everything, the fogs, they were just fantastic. So styling wise, lighting wise, I mean, I love this generation more than even the current generation 992. I just think it's fantastic. I love the look of it. The 2018 GT3, practicality wise, it's been pretty interesting. So I've used it for some shoots, actually. I've taken it to some events. And one of the big portions is, how is the storage space? So storage space, you pretty much have just this frunk. And you have to put as much stuff as possible in here. So I've had it loaded up with stuff from Kroger. I've had it loaded up with Sunday groceries. From there, you pretty much just have this. I can put maybe a Pelican case or 2 Pelican cases and a tripod in there. So once you've loaded everything up there, you also have just a little bit more space. So in here, you have pretty much just the footwell, moving the seat all the way back. The seats don't recline or anything, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you do have a little bit of space maybe back there behind the seats, but it's not much, and good luck getting a tripod or Pelican case back there because you're going to damage the car. So if I were to rate practicality, it'd definitely be maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Not the best. Definitely buy something like a Panamera or a Cayenne if you want practicality. So owning the 2018 GT3, driving experience is fantastic. What everyone else says is they say, how can you change this car and evolve it and make it better? How can you do that? Well, it's crazy because you have the experience of this car, and then you go to the 992 GT3 and you're just blown away. You're like, this is fantastic. How can they make it better? Well, they did in the 992 GT3. But is it that much better than this car? And I'd argue no. Yeah, it's a little faster. The PDK is more fantastic. The manual gearbox is good, okay. But is it really that much better than this car? Well, okay, it's got the double wishbone front suspension. That is probably a game changer, yes. But for the price, is it better? No. New? Yeah, I mean, night and day difference. But with the current market, buy this car, because people are asking almost $300,000 for the 992 GT3. $300,000. I mean, that's crazy to me. And especially the price I bought this car, and even going from the Carrera 4S to this car, I thought that the price really just wasn't justified. Besides it being an exotic car and performance car and the specialty of a special Porsche. Yes, it to me it wasn't that even actually that much more worth it than the Carrera 4S was. The GT3 is, it's also not cheap. You do have to maintain it. It's also due for its 16,000 mile service. I put 3,000 miles on since I bought it. I'm at 17,223 right now. There is depreciation. Depreciation is a little bit over 50 cents a mile, maybe 75 cents a mile for depreciation. So you have to deal with that. On the other aspect of it, you have to take it in for service, and Porsche really doesn't cover much under its service. It's not like BMW where you take it in and they're like, all right, we'll cover this for you, we'll fix this for you, oh, your seat's broken, we'll cover that for you. Porsche, it's like, we're gonna basically cover nothing except for a drivetrain. Oh, a light went out? No, that's not covered. So, yeah, it's a warranty item, but they really don't cover much compared to like BMW or Mercedes. And driving experience. What's it been like to drive? I'd say it's been pleasant. It's been exciting. It's fun when you start throwing this car around corners and you start kind of getting the back end a little bit. The scary part with Porsches is when you start trying to drift the car, the back end out comes fast. I mean, it comes flying. It's like a pendulum. I mean, it's like taking the pendulum and just letting it go, and it flies at you. It can be a little scary at sometimes. For me, I'm kind of used to it. My father's still a little scared of the car, and I'm surprised because it's only 500 horsepower. So yeah, I mean, it's an experience, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. So the other aspect you have to think about is daily driving. I thought about just getting a Turbo S to daily drive versus GT3. And I'm happy I made the GT3 decision because it's actually not as harsh as people say it is. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm scraping my butt everywhere I go. It's practical, actually. It's useful. I'm not scared to drive the car as much. I was worried about that first to second gear transition in traffic. It's not as bad as the 997 was. And, it works. It goes, it's fast, it's fun, it looks cool, it's comfortable. I'm small and I'm lean and I can fit in these carbon bucket seats pretty well. So another thing that I have to think about and let you know is, why did I choose the 991.2 GT3 over other cars in this price segment? Well, I thought about the Lamborghini Superleggera, the Gallardo Superleggera, thought about the Ferrari 458, thought about a lot of other cars. Even the 2016 991.1 GT3 RS was actually affordable at the time. It was in the 160s compared to this car. And now, it's skyrocketed. But, I would like to own an ultraviolet 991.1 GT3 RS. I think that would be fantastic. But this car, why did I choose it? Well, the raw experience is number one. Other aspects of owning this car. Well, I ended up wanting to own this car because of the Porsche factor. It's just like you buy a first Porsche and then you buy your second Porsche and then you're like, I need another one. I need another one. And then you're stuck. You can't buy any more cars besides just Porsche. So I bought it also for the Porsche experience. On the other aspect, I love the carbon bucket seats. I thought that what this car came with, the feel, you really can't get any other manual cars in this price point that are fantastic. I mean, maybe you can get a Aston Martin, I think DBS, which is the manual V12. I think you can get a manual R8, which is a little older. But new cars, no, you can't get anything as new right now as you can with a 2018 or even a new 911 GT3. So, useful features of this car. First thing, front lift, fantastic. Living in Michigan, yes, you need it. Living on dirt road, yes, you need it. Number two, what have I also found practical? I've also found practical the navigation screen in the dash. I think that's great. Number three, Apple CarPlay. Yes, Apple CarPlay is useful. The only times I can get the blips to happen with the exhaust is when I'm using auto rev matching. So it sounds pretty cool. Going through those gears, I can rev match it myself, but the auto does such a fantastic job, especially if you were in traffic. So, I'm gonna go from fourth gear here. I'm kind of, not doing super hot here. Put it in sport mode, auto rev match. Okay. Auto rev match for me. Pick up speed just a little bit, but it does a fantastic job. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell as well. If you'd like to see more videos about some of my cars, like the Mercedes, the Lexus, the BMW E30, the E28, and the Cayenne, make sure to check out some of the other videos. I will be making some reviews of some other people's cars as well soon, so make sure to subscribe. Check it out.